Good evening and good to have you with us in this edition of the Urban Debate. We start off with what is now becoming one of the first big vaccine frauds in our country. So far, it is the India's biggest vaccination drive case that has emerged from India's financial capital, the city of Mumbai. Mirror Now has been bringing you details of how this emerged from one upscale residential society in the Mumbai suburbs. But the case has become bigger. It now turns out that only those 400 residents were not the only ones who may have been duped in the name of a valid official vaccination drive. It now turns out that the same group held at least 9 camps across the city and duped hundreds of people. The first one was the society with 400 residents who got cheated. They are the ones who said they even suspect that they were given fake jabs. They don't even know. The police doesn't know, the people don't know, we don't know if the vaccines given in these 9 camps were even real. 2 production houses were duped. Production houses run by famous producers including Ramesh Taurani. Their crew was duped. Taurani claims he had about 350 employees who got a shot at this vaccination drive. One college in Mumbai suburbs and even some corporates, we are told, have been targeted. So let's go across to Sandhya once again and break it down for you. Sandhya, let's talk about what the Mumbai police knows so far as a trend of the modus operandi. What seems to be the modus operandi, and then we will come to the various accused and their roles.
So, according to Mumbai police, these accused, they were all working together, and some of the times they used to contact these private housing societies or corporate houses or production houses. At times, because of the spread of the word, they were also contacted by these societies. So, one of the accused was still said to be absconding, Rajesh Pandey. He told Hiranandani residents that how he is an employee of Kokilaben Ambani Hospital. According to police, to some people, he told of other places where the vaccination drive took place. He told that he's the PRO of Kokilaben Ambani Hospital, but that's the claim made by Rajesh Pandey. So once these housing societies or production houses or corporate houses, they used to agree that Rajesh Pandey can conduct the vaccination drive at their society. What he used to do, he used to bring the other people in picture, and usually when vaccination drives are conducted in an authorized manner, one who is taking the jab actually has to register on CoWIN app and has to generate, and from there the person has to get the reference ID. And that's something which has to be given at the time of taking the jab on the spot. But that didn't happen because these accused, Mumbai police has already said that they were not authorized. They did not even get the vaccine from any authorized channel. So these people, all they used to ask for the Aadhaar card xerox of the person and phone number. And those entries also used to be made manually, not online. People didn't used to receive any OTP. In fact, in the beginning, as far as Hiranandani's deal is concerned, Tanvi at that time accused Rajesh Pandey told in advance that it will take 15 days for the certificate for the residents to receive the certificate, but that also didn't really raise any red flag. And talking about what happened, these people did give their Aadhaar card and did not receive certificates for some time. And after that, some people who received the certificates, they also realized that how the certificates had different hospitals' names, different time, different location, different date, and that's how the residents realized that there was something fishy. And similarly, at these other places also, most of the people did not receive any certificate, and none of the people at any of these places, Tanvi, registered themselves on CoWIN and they get that reference ID which was supposed to be given at Tanvi.
So firstly, none of them registered on CoWIN themselves. They all paid in cash. They were all told that you will get certificates only 10 days or 15 days later. Some began to get it in, a week later, which is where we saw various hospital certificates in the names of various hospitals, and they were all fake certificates, Sandhya. Has the police made any indication of, these 9 camps? Have the people been told about it? Have they found any additional information from the newer instances that have emerged as to how did this all happen, and where did these vials come from? Were they even genuine vaccine shots?
So, Tanvi, these are the questions we are still trying to find answers for. As far as the modus operandi is concerned, it's more or less the same, because the set of accused is the same team which conducted the vaccination drives at all these 9 places. Modus operandi is almost similar in all these 9 places. Apart from that, one thing which the police said, that while conducting these vaccination drives at all these 9 places, from not even one place, these accused can show that they got the vaccines via an authorized channel. They don't have any document to show that. And that's exactly why there are questions on the authenticity of the vaccine as well. Though whether or not that vaccine is fake, that is something that's going to take some time. According to police, BMC is going to establish that, because that is going to require some medical research, some test. It's only after that it can be concluded whether that vaccine was fake or not. And as I said, talking about the modus operandi, more or less the same. All the payments were taken in cash. No COVID reference ID was asked for. Certificates were issued days after the vaccine, and those certificates also had, as I said, discrepancies regarding date, location, timing, etc.
Okay, Sandhya, now you briefly spoke about some of these accused and the roles that they played. Of course, the one important one that we now know about, who's still absconding, is Rajesh Pandey. Now, he went around, like you said, telling people that he was the PRO or an employee of Kokilaben Hospital, one of the prime, reputed hospitals in the western suburbs of Mumbai. The hospitals even confirmed that, there were few employees who were in their name falsely trying to dupe people. But what about the others? Who are these other people, and how did they come together?
So, Tanvi, let me start with the arrested accused first. Though the main accused here, the mastermind of this entire scam, is Mahindra Pratap Singh. He's actually a 10th class dropout, and he used to work with the Medical Association of Mumbai, and that's how he came in touch with some of the accused, is what Mumbai police believes. Now, this person actually used to take the job of these vaccination drives. He used to allot uh, these vaccination drives to other accused. He used to supervise these drives. He used to make all the arrangements. He used to arrange for the vials. And that's exactly why he is the mastermind. He has been arrested by Mumbai police, and he's the one who has confessed that he has conducted 9 such drives across Mumbai, and one in Thane as well. Second accused is Sanjay Gupta. He has some event management background, Tanvi, and he was the one who used to organize these drives on ground. He used to make the on-site arrangements of this vaccination drive. Next two accused are Chandan Singh and Nitin Mode, and these two people used to work with the hospital, and these two are the ones who stole the data from the hospital, the data which actually had the reference IDs, COVID reference IDs of those people who, in a legitimate manner, registered themselves on COVID. But these people stole those reference IDs and attached the names of their victims to these reference IDs and generated fake certificates. Tanvi, the intensity of the scam is such that these people actually generated those fake certificates on COVID itself. So that shows that how intense it was, how prepared they were, and how how clear they were how exactly to go about this. Now, talking about fifth person who has been detained in Madhya Pradesh's Satna. So his name is Kareem. He was the one who physically got the vaccines to Viranandani Society. There's a doctor involved in the scam, and this person, Kareem, he used to work for that doctor. So once Kareem got the clue that how the scam is unearthing, he actually tried to leave the city. That's why he took a train. Mumbai police got the information, and it was in Madhya Pradesh's Satna. He was detained by GRP, and he is in the custody of GRP, and Mumbai police is going to bring him by tomorrow. Now there are two more people. One is Rajesh Pandey, about whose role we spoke. He used to claim that he is the PRO of Kokilaben Ambani Hospital. To some people, he said he is from the marketing department of Kokilaben Ambani Hospital, and he used to take the take this, if I can call it a contract of this vaccination drive. And he was the contact person between this racket and the victims. He is absconding as of now, and the seventh accused here is a doctor. Now, whether or not he's a fraudster or he's a genuine doctor, he's an MBBS doctor or some other doctor, that information police is saying that they're still cross-checking, but he's also absconding. Tanvi.
All right, Sandhya, thanks so much for bringing us all of those details, covering all angles for us. And of course, we will keep coming back to you for more. Thanks for joining us for now. This has become much, much bigger than what we thought. And remember, we don't even know if there are more camps that were held where people were duped in this manner by these guys. But what is concerning is that they say somehow seem to have fooled hundreds of people. Hundreds of people in a city like Mumbai. There is enough talk, enough information, enough awareness, conversation available, and still somehow all of the red flags were ignored, were missed by people, perhaps because all of us just want to get that vaccine shot. Most of the residents ignored these warning signs, including not registering on CoWIN, not getting an OTP, not getting an immediate certificate, they probably didn't even know that they're supposed to inform their local ward office and the civic body official there that they are conducting such a camp, take their permission. All of these things need to be the checks and balances, and we're going to talk about that in this show so that more such instances don't happen. I say good evening to Clyde Crasto, spokesperson for the NCP, Shweta Shalini of the BJP, Dr. Shashank Joshi, Dean India College of Physicians at Leelavati, member of the COVID-19 Task Force in Maharashtra, Dr. Prateet Samdani, internal physician and intensivist, joining us this evening. Let me actually start off with Dr. Samdani. Dr. Samdani, to your mind, the way the vaccination system is in place, where private hospitals are, brought in, and they can go ahead and hold these camps outside of the hospitals at these other sites, where all do you see a breach in the way this scam was actually carried out?
So I think this is, this act, unfortunately, had all the perfect ingredients for a good meal, because there was a person so-called involved with a hospital management who could take out data. There was a person involved who could transport the vaccine. There was a person who was actually involved who could make sure that he could make the vials. So he had some probably medical background to make sure that the vials look similar. I think it's important the country is alert. They register, don't take shortcuts, go, and it's also important that they start displaying batch numbers, or the residents start making sure, or the citizens start making sure correct batch numbers on their certificates. The government has made it so quick that the moment you get a vaccine or you're registered for a vaccination, you get an OTP. The moment you're vaccinated, you get a link to say you've been successfully given your first or the second dose, as the case may be. So there have been several breaches here. One, I think the citizens everything to ease because they found that the vaccine has come there. Two, the way the vaccine was given, I would believe that the ampules were very, very similar to the original ampules. My thinking would be that this probably contains something called as normal saline, or just normal saline, or just water that is pretty harmless to the body, but looks very, very similar. So there have been several this could have been breached.
Where would you get these ampules for somebody who's not part of the system? Unless you're actually stealing it from a hospital, where will you actually manage to get such similar looking vials?
So obviously someone, as I said, seems to be very familiar, seems to have a familiar medical background. The small ampules, probably you can easily make them in a factory. You can just make stickers or labels. We've had instances of fake drugs in the past all over the world. And let me tell you, Tanvi, this has also happened in Mexico. It's happened in Poland. It's happened in South Africa. It's happened in China. So it's happened all across the world. So obviously someone who's familiar with the system of bottling, transportation, the vaccine size, the syringe, the needle, someone who certainly has a very, very close networking to a medical system.
Okay, Dr. Shashank Joshi, good evening to you. You know, the first day when this, the first example emerged, where there were 400 people. Clyde, I'll come to you in just a bit. Let me just get this question answered as well. When the first day that example emerged of 400 people, we weren't too sure if there was a possibility that this vaccine, at least the vaccine was genuine or not. But now as we find out that there were at least 9 camps, that means there would have been several hundreds of people who've been given this so-called shot. Is there any possibility that this could still be genuine vaccines? Because then it would mean some large-scale theft as well.
Tanvi, this is a non-medical question, so I don't think I would be able to answer that. But I would tell you 2 things very clearly, that I'm very sad and angry that this is happening in our country. Of spurious drugs have been known, and we have been very vigilant, and this is a non-negotiable criminal act, and they should be strictly punished under the law of the land. I don't think there should be any tolerance for such violators and protocol violators. And I think this will, the very fact that private sector was allowed to have an oversight, if such flaws emerge, this will only lead the equitable distribution going back to the government. Already 75% will be done by the government. Private sector was empowered to ensure that it is done appropriately. And then these spurious elements spring in and try to cut corners short. I think in pandemic times, people are panicky, and they have unfortunately been, they don't even know whether they have got a genuine vaccine or not. So, and we will not know for 4 to 6 weeks whether the antibodies will be positive or not. And even if the antibodies are positive, if they had exposure, again, there is no way to confirm whether it was vaccine-induced antibody or it was a natural antibody. So it's led to a big sort of a quagmire, and we need to nip this problem in the bud now that it has unfolded. And this, if it has happened in Mumbai, it could have happened in several parts of India. And I think it's important that government takes over 100% of the vaccination and conducts it in the appropriate way they were doing it from the beginning.
Yes, and one important part there is for me, Clyde, that we all believe in that centralized system, the centralized system where you're supposed to register, which is supposed to give you an OTP, which is supposed to give you an immediate certificate and a confirmation that you've been vaccinated. And while these people did not get an OTP because obviously they didn't register, they were told we don't have a computer right now, we will put it in later. But somehow that ID has been generated, whether they used an existing ID, stole somebody else's identity. There is clearly a centralized breach that will also have to be looked at.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to look at this holistically, because this is a central government app. Okay, if somebody is going to break into it, then there is some kind of a fraud and some kind of a technical aspect to it, because it could be a hacker, it could be anybody that's involved, and this could lead to be dangerous times. So we have to be very careful. And what is surprising is all throughout, everybody, every citizen has been informed about this whole process. I don't want to talk about other newspapers, but, for example, I read 3 newspapers, the Times of India, Now Bharat Times, Maharashtra Times, 3 languages I read. In all 3 languages, every day, something or the other, page 2, page 3 is full of information. So I do not understand how these societies miss this out, because the whole process is, if somebody wants to conduct a camp, they approach a hospital. Every hospital has been informed that they need to take an NOC from the BMC. There is a BMC appointed doctor, a proper doctor that comes and inoculates people. All these processes have been laid out right in front of people, and it's always there. And like you and I, a lot of us, I've taken my first dose already, and the minute you register there and you take your vaccine and you come out, you get a message from the central government COVID app saying that you can download your certificate. After downloading the certificate, you also get a message saying that you can verify your certificate. So OTP, verification, downloading certificate, all this information is right there. The COVID app has worked well. A lot of places glitches, yes. Keeping politics aside, technical aspects happen, but it has worked. So and everybody has been informed. So I think this needs to be looked at seriously. The Mumbai police is doing a good job. They've filed an FIR on 4 people. 1 person is on his way. He's also going to be, he's already arrested. And they're looking at it because now we know there are 9 places this has happened. So this has to be now looked into deeply, and all action that is necessary will be taken. Let me tell you one more thing. Even for that matter, if anybody within the housing society or within these companies or offices that you're naming are involved in colluding into doing something like this, they all will be taken into task.
But
And
Clyde, I know I
everybody-
repeatedly keep hearing this, especially from, many from the investigative agency or even the civic body keep saying those who are involved from the housing society will, and perhaps maybe they are, but they would be really silly to believe that they can actually get away with it, and the fraudsters are actually going to go away. But these people are part of the RWA. They live in that society. They own that home. I mean, how can we assume or presume that one of them is involved? They would have to run away from that place if they're fooling their own neighbors.
No,
Some of them have actually themselves got jabbed.
But not all secretaries are living in the society. Some are employed. Some are working for them. You could.
Why would a producer want his entire own set of employees to actually be misled and scammed?
No, so that's a matter of investigation, no? That's a matter of investigation. Let the investigation authorities, bodies come out with it. And if they don't do it, we are here to question. You're here to question the number again. This is going to happen. Investigation is on. People are being arrested every day. Every time you question somebody, you find that they're involved in it. They're being arrested. Everybody is being arrested, whoever it may be. So the next few days, everything will come out. I mean, first, when we started off, we didn't know what actually happened. Then the investigation now came on. 4 people were arrested. Another 5th one was arrested. They figured out the 9 other places this has happened. More people are being arrested. The Mumbai police had a press conference today, and they're doing a fantastic job. Everybody will be pulled up. And
I want to.
involved are answering.
Okay, I want to highlight a few of the other signs, and this is for people to know. And please know this. This is not just a Mumbai story. This scam may have happened here that we know of, but this is a way it could be actually pulled off anywhere else. And so if somebody walks in without a computer or a machine where they're going to be punching in data, that's sign number 1. If somebody doesn't take you through the registration on the CoWIN portals, you don't, tells you to not get an OTP or that the certificate will come later, that's sign number 2. If somebody says, don't take pictures here, it is a warning sign. Most of the legitimate places will even have a selfie booth. And all the staff members are very, warm and welcoming, and even giving you the time to get yourself clicked or a video being taken while you are getting the shot. Even though they will be doing this all through the day with hundreds of people waiting, they still give you time. So if somebody tells you no mobile phones allowed in this area and you can't take pictures or take videos, think about it. And whichever camp you're going for, ask the organizers if the local bodies have been informed and permissions sought. Shweta Shalini, it's important to also highlight these things because obviously people don't know the process. They're all just very thrilled and perhaps also relieved that vaccine is available for them.
So Tanvi, it's easy for you to say that, people should understand, and it's the easiest for Clyde to come and say that people are fools, they got fooled. Right? This is precisely what the government is saying, because a lot has been said about the Mumbai model, and a lot of PR has gone into saying how Mumbai did what it did and now is doing as far as vaccination is concerned. Let me give you a data. Do you know, Tanvi, that 1.6 million lesser women have been vaccinated across Maharashtra, and this number specifically in Mumbai is about 350,000 lesser women, because there is absolutely no admin which is going around the vaccination drive. Now, I have certain questions. Dr. Sabnani has actually talked about ampules and they could be a copy and so on and so forth. But as far as my information goes, these were empty vials which were not sealed, and whatever was filled into them and then supplied once again. Now, let's understand this. Does that mean that a black marketing racket is going on? This Vasuli Sarkar was also doing Vasuli on money, but now they are also doing Vasuli on people's lives. Second, what was the BMC officer doing? If a CoWIN app was, ID was stolen, certificates were given, how did the local BMC ward officer not know that there is a vaccination camp going on in the society? Clyde has come forward and said that, oh great, everyone will be taken to task. 9 societies, do we know the name of the 9 societies? Till now, one person is still absconding. Do you know what
Tanvi,
they
I need to
injected?
answer
If
this.
you have two people on record with you, why don't you know what exactly was injected into these people? It's very easy to come on national television to say that, oh, the people are so educated, yet they do not understand. Please follow rules. But you need to look into the mirror and understand that it's complete failure, administrative failure of the government right under your nose.
You owe me
There
30
are
seconds, Tanvi.
societies and hundreds of people who are being affected because of you.
Tanvi, now
Yes,
you owe me
Clyde.
just 30 seconds. Okay? Now, okay, I didn't speak, so hear me out. First and foremost, okay, I didn't call the people fools. I didn't call them fools at all. So don't put words in my mouth. Let's keep that aside. Secondly, question raised was, why was the BMC officer did not know whatever people locally should have known? So what was the BJP MLA sitting there and doing? The local MLA is a BJP. What was he sleeping, not knowing what is happening in the society there?
It is the BJP MLA which has raised this issue. It is Yogesh Sagarji who has raised this issue. Please go and correct yourself and understand the facts. Clyde, your people were sleeping.
Okay.
There was nobody, absolutely no
Okay,
people
calm down, please. I'm
representative
sorry.
there.
This
It
is a very
Yogesh
serious
Sagarji
issue.
who highlighted
This is not a theoretical debate. This is not a political rhetorical debate. It's an extremely serious issue regarding people's lives. One at a time. Clyde, please allow me to speak at least.
Yeah,
One at a time.
sorry, that was
Let
a
Clyde
that was a
Crastus finish his point. Yeah.
Secondly, you're talking about if something was happening in the CoWIN app, the BMC did not know. Are you trying to say that the CoWIN app cannot, you can just get into the CoWIN app and, hack it and do it? No. The CoWIN app is controlled and worked by the central government. It is a centrally designed app. Even the BMC officers cannot go into it and keep monitoring and
The
checking that
COVID
who
ID was
where.
stolen from
Listen,
the hospital,
Tanvi,
which
it's-
lies in
this-
your
this
government.
BJP
It is in your
spokesperson
state.
is sent
You
to
need to
this
go ahead
debate
and take
only to
action.
derail the
If
debate.
the
This
ID
is a
was
habit.
stolen from a
She has been sent to
hospital,
derail
which
this
is
debate.
there in
If you're not
Maharashtra.
going to monitor this debate, Tanvi, I'm not going to talk because she's been sent to derail this debate.
Why
So
should I
please, you
derail
monitor
the
this
debate?
So now
You
listen
are
to
the
me.
one who
If
said
you have
people
the
are
guts,
at fault and your
if you have
government
the
is
guts,
completely
and if
clean
you have the decency,
and you are going to
then
take
listen to me.
action wherever it's
You do not
required.
have the guts.
You need to
This
take
BJP
action
has the
today.
guts.
Okay,
Tell us
both of
where
you
is
can
your
calm
government?
down and I will come back to you later. If you're not going to follow the rules of the debate, I'm going to come back to you later. Let me just go to my experts. And Shweta Shalini, I think you've forgotten, it's been a while maybe since you come on an urban debate, and so you've forgotten what the rules of engagement are. We listen to each other. Once both of you have calmed down, I will come back to you. I do want to raise this question though, which is that why is it that so far the police authorities have not been able to find whether real shots were given or not? Scientifically, like Dr. Shashank Joshi pointed out, it will take a lot of time. There is no point in doing the test now. Even after several weeks, we wouldn't be sure of what the results are. But these are amateurs. These are not hardened criminals. These are not gangsters who can face police's questioning and grilling for days together. Why do we not know whether they gave original or vaccine or they gave something fake, Clyde? Clyde, that question to you. Okay, we're going to go back to Clyde in just a bit. But let me go back to our experts as well. Dr. Prateet, one aspect which I think needs to be a learning is the database of the hospitals. We are told that they access the hospital database with whoever had been vaccinated, their details, their CoWIN IDs were taken. And in the name of those CoWIN IDs, these fresh fake certificates were printed with the other names. That means that a lot of this would require the access to hospitals database, and that onus now will obviously come on the individual entities.
That's right. So as you unfolded the story, you did mention that there were a couple of them who were actually connected to a hospital.
Yes.
So obviously they've been professional in cheating, impersonation, forgery, adulteration. They've hacked the passwords, or they've taken out data, or they've taken out the numbers every day that someone would get vaccinated. So there has to be a hand in glove in this whole exercise of forgery. So obviously someone has an access. There's someone involved from the hospital. There's no doubt. There is a scientific background, a medical background also that's involved, as I repeat again.
Yeah, in this case, we do know, and even the hospital itself has admitted that it was one of their employees who's, who went around clearly saying that he's a lot more powerful than maybe what he was, but he had access, and that's what the police will have to look into. But process-wise, I want to understand this. Is there any way, Dr. Prateek, that the wasted vials could have been from whichever location, any location, be siphoned off and collected in such large numbers that you can carry out such camps?
Absolutely. See, all these wasted vials go into a medical garbage disposal method. And probably someone has had access where these vials are burnt or destroyed and then gotten there. So he's also probably mixed hands or connected with someone who's involved in disposal of medical garbage, and that's how he's got access. If the vials were the same, the original vials, which were probably filled with nothing or with whatever ingredient he used to use, obviously there's been some access also. It seems from what you're telling me that the vials look pretty similar or probably exactly to the original vials. So these have been collected not from the hospital, but from the disposal area.
Yes, Dr. Joshi, would you like to comment on this part as well? Because we've had conversations about the amount of wastage that may happen in vaccines, but is there any possibility that there is so much and it can be pulled out of the system? I'm talking about the process itself and how these vaccine vials move from one center to the other.
Tanvi, you raise a very important point that all the vaccination centers need to undergo a thorough audit, particularly from the site of crime. According to me, whoever has done it is of devious mindset. They have done a lot of thought and planning. I don't think they are amateurs, and their acts are not pardonable at all. And I think the police and the forensic team need to do a thorough investigation to come out with the truth. And one thing is very clear cut, that if they were reused, disposed vials of used vaccines, then it's extremely sad. Spurious drug is a criminal act in this at all. So I think this has to be dealt with extremely strictly, without any tolerance or mercy, because this is playing havoc in people's lives. When we are in pandemic times, when people are panicky, I don't think we should blame people. They need to be cautious and careful. But I think if such a system lapse is happening with such devious mindsets, this is some sort of a criminal activity which needs to be investigated at the highest level, at the quickest level, and it should be sorted out. And then if they identify some loopholes like wastage of vials, they need to also be plugged ASAP.
Yes. Clyde Castro, this is the important part. There needs to be immediately an audit. You say that the Mumbai police is doing a great job, but it's taken them 4 days to figure this much out. They still can't tell us whether real vaccine shots were given or fake and where these vials came from. They have people in their custody now, and still we don't know the answers. We need to do an overall audit of each vaccine center.
Well, you will get everything will be out there in the public domain. When there is a matter of investigation, everything cannot be spoken in public. When the time comes, they are holding a press conference and they're giving out details as and when required. Because when it's a matter of investigation, every detail cannot be given out by the police or the government for that matter. So this process takes time because you have to investigate properly. If you just announce something and something comes different from what it is, you're the first one to raise questions. You have the right to raise questions. So they are doing their job step by step. Everything will come out. It will be there in the public open.
But when will it be? When will it be? Hundreds of people are wondering today if they've been duped, if they're actually vaccinated or not.
Tanvi, when investigation is on, you cannot say that I'll do this today and do that tomorrow. As and when the investigation proceeds,
you have to show a sense of urgency, Clyde.
No, there is a sense of urgency. BJP can come and raise voice.
No, there isn't. Every government representative or BMC representative who speaks on it seems to just put the entire onus on the societies who got fooled.
No, nobody's putting the onus on anybody. Sorry. I have seen interviews of your correspondents. So nobody's just putting the onus on anybody else. They are all talking about what the investigation is. Everybody is part of this whole thing, whether it's the society, whether it's the BMC, whether it's the hospital or the people involved in it. Everybody is being questioned and everybody is giving answers. And at the end of it, when the end result comes, whoever is the culprit will be booked and everything will be taken care of. So the matter of investigation goes step by step. You can't just do number 4 and not do number 1 and 2 and 3 investigations. You have to do that. So you wait, things will come on, and every day you are getting the information. You are reporting. Your journalists are going and talking to people and they've been told what is happening. So this is a matter of investigation. It's going on. Nobody's waiting for it. Nobody's sleeping over it. It's happening as and when it happens. things can be said. There are some if people want to talk about it, BJP can go to town, scream and shout and all. They can do whatever it is, and they can derail debates and whatever they want. But what the truth is cannot be changed. I can't change it, nor can they change it.
Shweta Shalini.
As and when it happens, Tanvi, so while as and when it happens, there are more vials being collected from the garbage bins, more society is being targeted, and I'm sure and I just hope that Clyde and his government wakes up before the second dose and tell the people if the first dose that they had were correct or not, and whether they were actually given vaccines or they were just given saline water. Thank you so much, Clyde. Thank you so much for that clarification.
Can I answer that?
Yes.
I mean, she seems to be saying Clyde more than she said BJP in the whole debate. Thank you very much for that too. But all clarity will be given, and I would love to come back again on the debate. And that next time, I hope you don't keep saying Clyde. You keep asking questions, and I love to tell you what the
you
truth
took
is.
4 days. You took 4 days, and not even clear right now whether what was given was vaccination or
everything
not.
Is clear. You
took 4 days to understand. Today we do not know who the other 8 societies were. What are you saying? As and when people will find out, you will know. We have a right to know today. I have a right to know today whether if my people were given the shots of the vaccine or no.
Clyde versus Shweta Shalini, this looks very absurd because I don't want to do any verses or compete.
Clyde, if you don't like anything, you're welcome to not participate in this, but you need to really stop giving us instructions on how to handle this debate. Answer the question. Answer the question. Why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? Every single citizen of the city of Mumbai today is wondering whether the vaccination camp that happened in their house, in their society, now you don't even want to listen to me.
No, now listen, there is a delay in this sound. You seem to not like what I'm saying. There's a delay in sound. You tell me when to talk, I'll talk, because there's a delay. I'm getting a delay. So when I speak, you think I'm speaking over you. I'm not actually trying to speak over you.
When are you going to tell people which are these 9 camps, the details of these 9 camps, so that people can stop wondering whether they themselves were duped or not? I am getting queries.
Can I answer now? I'm getting a delay, so can I answer now?
Yes.
Okay, so one press conference was held by the police today. They gave detailed information. Now, this is a matter of the police that they're taking it. They will come, and every time they have information, they'll come out and tell the people. I'm not privy to the police information. And no citizen is privy to police
So, as a representative of the NCP, which is in power and running the government in this state, you have nothing more to add except that police is doing its job then?
No, I'll add to it. I'll add to it. I trust my police and the police that is in Maharashtra that is working on this. Mumbai police is working on this, and they are answering.
What about the audits of the vaccination centers? Is the police going to do that?
No, the BMC is doing it. If you're not following it, then I'll send you more details here, because your journalists are already giving out the audits that are being done. It's there on the BMC social media. It's come on the government social media. Your journalists are following. I think you should also follow it.
When are we going to get the reports for these audits, Clyde?
Reports are being given out every time that the reports come out. It's being given out. I'll send you tonight. I'll send you more. I mean, there's no provision to send it on air right now, but
you can give the details. The viewers are listening to you.
No, the details are all there. The current detail, I have to look at it and I have to read this. I mean, I have to read it. No, so I'll get the details and I'll read it to you. Call me back on air after about 15 minutes. I'll read it to you.
Let me go back to our experts for a little bit more on this. And here is my concerning part. Dr. Shashank Joshi, until, like you said, there needs to be a proper checks and balance. How do we ensure that this doesn't happen again? That nobody else attempts to do this? One is, of course, we need to make people more aware. But should we, in the meantime, bring in stricter checks for the vaccine camps that are being held off-site?
There has to be an oversight on all the private centers, and they are supposed to have a MOU and keep BMC in the loop. If any violation is found, there has to be some punitive action, or that vaccine center or that private center to be suspended. This will eventually happen. Anyway, after 21st, 75% of the vaccination will go to the government. And if there is such loopholes are found, which are very glaring, then obviously this will lead to a clampdown, which will be sad. See, our whole target is to vaccinate as many people as possible in the easiest way possible. So I hope and wish and pray that the people who are genuinely trying to vaccinate are not derailed because of this, but definitely we'll need to put some systems and balance in place, because something has gone wrong somewhere seriously. And therefore, I think we will have to wait for the police to advise us, as well as the criminal investigators to advise the BMC how to make this check more foolproof, because there cannot be any tolerance. There has to be a zero tolerance for these type of an activity.
Zero tolerance. We need to treat this as an extremely serious breach. An extremely serious breach which has happened. I want to ask Dr. Prateek also this question. Dr. Prateek, would it be prudent to say that every vaccination camp that happens be outside the official center needs to have a government or a civic body official present there? I mean, how else do we ensure that this doesn't happen? Or do they need to be taking out their own daily checks in their own neighborhoods to find out if there is a camp? A lot of these camps are actually publicized and people still didn't realize that it was fake.
Yeah, so Tanvi, the other thing that they can do is any private person or group of people or society or office having a camp should actually make it, the BMC probably will try to make it mandatory that they put it on their website, it goes public, and then the BMC officials and the police or whoever takes random checks so that the citizen is aware and people who want to do fraudulent work are also aware that this cannot be tolerated. That's one way you can do it. Two, every citizen must be again educated that the CoWIN app is a foolproof app at the moment. You get an OTP, you get a message after you take the vaccine. So until you don't get a certificate, do not move out of that place. If you are one off who doesn't get a certificate amongst 100 who are getting it, it could be a problem with the app. But if you are all of them who are not getting it, I think we also need alertness, just not fall prey to such cheap forgery in life. From on one hand, we were talking about vaccine hesitancy in the past. And unfortunately, now we have vaccines available and we are talking about vaccine forgery. Scientific literacy is actually an intellectual vaccine against the claims of charlatans who would otherwise exploit ignorance. So I think it's also the responsibility of every citizen as well as the corporation and the government to make sure that there is no cheating. As Dr. Joshi says, absolutely foolproof and zero tolerance and strict punishment.
Absolutely right. And I think we need to also move very quickly on this. And while you do that, please, as much information as you have, share it with the people so they are able to make informed decisions about the vaccine that they've taken. Right now, there would be workers within the film industry who've been part of these production houses of vaccination camps who will be wondering if they got the vaccine or not. The entire plan of unlocking of film shoots starting depends on knowing whether they are protected or not, whether they have this protective shield or not, and all because a handful of people managed to game the system in the name of big reputed hospitals with fake certificates and fake vials. We don't know what was in it. They've managed to dupe these hundreds of people. I'm going to thank all of the panelists who've joined us on this conversation, but I want to just very quickly summarize this for our viewers. Arm yourself with as much information as you can, because right now we don't know if there is a part of the system that's broken and what all as part of the system is broken. And this is so that you don't stop trusting vaccines. It shouldn't be that if you are a citizen, you stop going out to get yourself vaccinated at any of these camps. It shouldn't be that you become hesitant to not take a vaccine. So let me tell you this. What we know so far, there were 9 of these camps that have been held in the city of Mumbai. These included residential societies, 2 production houses, 1 college in Borivali, and a few corporates as well. Vaccines that were used, or those vials, were not from authorized sources. There were no doctors present at the spot, which they should be in case of any adverse event. We all take our vaccine and are supposed to wait under observation to see if there is a reaction within our body. And so there is supposed to be a medical expert there present on the site to track that. The vaccine vials did not have a seal on them. Those holding the drive were not even authorized people. And nobody informed the local civic body. Very basic points that you should keep in mind if you're going to be participating in one such camp. Now, here are the questions that the government needs to give us answers to. Mumbai police and the government and the civic body, they cannot be taking this lightly anymore and saying, oh, people should have been more careful. How did the gang get these vaccine vials? Whether they had any leftover genuine vaccine or they were empty vials that were then refilled, or they were just similar looking vials. How did they get their hands on it? And of course, the biggest point, was there any genuine vaccine given, or was it all just water or glucose or whatever? Did the accused have any inside help? Today, the Mumbai police said so far, we've not seen any involvement of a government official or the civic body. But we should not be very quick to rule that out. If scams at such a large scale take place, somebody ought to know, somebody ought to be in the know. Especially if there was somebody from a hospital, including private hospitals. Clearly, these scams were being held in the name of private hospitals. And then, of course, are there vaccines that have already leaked into the black market? Is there where these were coming from? Key questions that need answers to. A lot more clarity is required for the people in Mumbai and elsewhere in this country. The biggest vaccine fraud so far has been exposed now. It needs speedier investigation. Thank you for joining us.